are live, gentlemen.
Nah, we can't be.
I don't know.
What I'm seeing, it says we're live.
Live
Okay.
or live? Live? That's what we're talking
I
about?
think we're live.
Live. There we go.
All right, let's go with it. What it do, Snackers and Snackers? It's your boy Gage. Jokes and Sin, both in the building. And you are now watching Cutscenes, which is
The best part of the game.
it's a fact. We play games for the cutscenes, right? What up, Ellis?
A little bit of both.
A little bit, man.
Nah, you don't play games to get to the cutscene.
Some cutscenes.
Yeah, depending on the game.
All right, we're not digging into that right now. I don't have time for that. We got a lot we got to talk about. So here's where I want to start. We got to talk about CES.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about Lucasfilm Games. We don't have to, but we're gonna talk about Pokemon 25th anniversary.
Milestone.
We're not gonna talk about it. Jokes is gonna talk about it.
I'm gonna talk about
Jokes is gonna hip us to it.
I mean, you're the only one here who cares. So
I'm sure there's some people watching that care as well too. Not just me. I'm sure it is.
Right now there's just Ellis. And, so, and he might, but he ain't never said so.
I'm sure he has a soft spot for Pokemon still.
We're gonna talk about CD Projekt Red and their explanation. We're gonna call it an explanation. Yeah, Ellis said we could skip Pokemon.
Oh, Ellis.
My man.
We've been on the same page for a while.
50 grand.
Don't do that.
So look, that's bothering me. Let's straighten that out a little bit. Wham. Okay, so CES. Now, I'm all in for CES every year. I absolutely love CES. One of the things we do at Loading Snacks is we do talk tech. We don't do it as often as we do some of the other things, but like, can't help it. Mm-hmm. We're into it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But because this is a video game related show, really, I mostly just want to kind of talk about things that are related to video games that popped up at CES. And I'm sure there are things I missed because there's so much stuff that happens at CES every year. And this year, because nobody was really physically in a place,
mm-hmm.
He calling troops.
Right. Yeah. Hey, you know what? As a matter of fact, Jokes, yeah. Hit your folks up and tell them get in this joint. You know what I mean? Otherwise, we can skip it. You know what I mean? Look, my man said, "Nah, good." See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know, like, why do you want damn Pokemon? Yeah. So, couple of things. CES and gaming. Originally, CES is where new consoles and things like that would be revealed before they broke off that portion of CES and moved it to E3.
Right.
So what you get now in the summertime is E3 is technically what used to be part of the Consumer Electronics Show, CES, that would happen every January. I think gaming just was a little bit too much. It was too big for CES. So here's one of probably the biggest things that was announced or talked about. Almost. And your Panasonic, Samsung, TCL, everybody talked about their TVs, and of course they talked about things like 8K, talked about new displays, so mini LED, micro LED, switching over from OLED, all kinds of stuff like that, right? But everybody specifically talked about having 4K, 120 hertz refresh rates, and all of them specifically referred to new game consoles. And almost all of them specifically referred to the fact that gaming jumped so much during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That they seem to have changed and focused more of their efforts into putting product together that was geared more towards gamers.
Right.
look, Samsung even went so far as that their micro LED TVs will allow you to display 4 screens at once from 4 different inputs, and literally called out in their press conference like you could hook up 4 Xboxes like it's an old LAN party and run them all on one screen, but they're all coming from individual joints. Like,
dope.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have dope money too.
I was about to say,
Uncanny nerd in the building.
Yo.
You need the most uncanny money
You ain't lying.
for the micro LED
That's
joint.
that pull that joint and put it in the studio where everybody can get in there for it. Cause
No. No. I want that for myself. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Like,
I'm being stingy.
that's
with
the kind of thing I want. Hey, look, you're not getting ray tracing on your TCL 279 model, but TCL did announce their first 4K TV their first 8K TV coming to the States, and we know that that's going to force pricing down across the board. Here's what the trickiest thing is. What, you with that?
I'm with that. Bring them prices down to 4K. Yep, I'm good with that.
It'll bring 4K pricing down because the 8K prices are going to come down. TCL is literally, they are the number 2 seller of televisions in the United States, right behind Samsung.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, probably poised to take their position. LG actually announced that they have 2021 models coming out with Google Stadia built in.
Kind of seen, just a matter of kind of seen that coming.
Hey, listen.
I mean,
hey, Ellis, if you get an 8K for $400, I need to know what street corner.
Right.
Immediately.
Nah, but we've talked about them. We talked about platforms putting their stuff on TVs in the future. This is just a step in that direction.
We did. It is the only one they really announced, and there's a little trickery with it because they did not say that they would specifically have it on TVs that could do the highest. Because with Stadia, in order for you to get 4K streaming and so forth, you actually have to pay the monthly fee. Like, you can have Stadia at no cost and just buy the games, right? And the controller. You can really use any controller if you want to. But they could not specify whether or not there would be something going on with them having a deal, whether the TVs would support the ability to do that if you had the paid version of Stadia. So there's still some kinks to be worked out. I was very surprised that we did not see Samsung and Microsoft announce that there was going to be xCloud or something on their TVs. Though in Samsung's presentations, the people were playing with Xbox controllers, which, again, they got a deal.
Right.
It's going to come at some point. So only the TVs from LG that have WebOS 6 will have it. And at some point, they will update so that LG TVs that have WebOS 5 will have the ability to do Stadia right on the TV. Which, again, for Google, one of the other big pushes that they had was they really pushed Google TV. There were a lot of TVs that announced partnerships with Google TV and having that built directly in, which is basically them offering the ability to watch content directly through without cable and so forth, and just internet through Google. So, I mean, again, those things are kind of changing what the landscape is overall. When it comes to video games, mostly you can do all that kind of stuff in a set-top box that is your game console anyway.
Right.
But again, it remains to be seen. Samsung even announced, like, with their Duo and so forth, like, you can actually take their phones, tap the phone to the TV, and automatically send what's on your phone to the screen. So with the way that people are gaming on their phones now, with the ability to do xCloud and things like that to your phone, eventually it's gonna happen that way. So there's some there wasn't a lot that was gaming focused at CES, but you're seeing that larger companies are beginning to make sure that they incorporate things that are important to gamers specifically into that.
They're keeping
into that stuff.
Eye on gaming and listening to the things we're saying and what we're talking about and what we like. Yeah,
they have to.
Yeah,
they have to. It's gaming has become synonymous with living almost at this point. I mean, people are they're using it. So it was interesting. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. Again, I do highly recommend going and checking out some of the new TVs like LG showed like clear displays, like straight up clear displays that were OLED, where like they showed like a lady sitting at like a restaurant. The chef is on the other side of the restaurant, and the menu is being displayed in real time on the screen. And then it had touchscreen at the bottom, so you could touch that, so you don't put your fingerprints on it.
Mm-hmm.
Overlays that had like in like mass transit, so you can see where you're going and stuff like that. Huge innovations in like AR for cars. Lots of stuff with AR in cars and overlays and that kind of thing. Lots of autonomous vehicles, flying cars. A lot of stuff. I highly recommend just go on YouTube and do a search like CNET or Engadget and put CES 2021. Look at the best of. Hey, you know what, Ellis? You guys, man, jump in there first. Be the one for the rest of us, right. So we'll all know what to do. So look, I want to talk. So Lucasfilm Games.
Yeah.
Let's run this down for a moment or five. So not unlike Xbox Game Studios, PlayStation Game Studios deciding to kind of put everything under one banner, Lucasfilm has done the same thing, which is clearly a Disney initiative. We've seen over the last like year and a half, 2 years, that Disney has started to, when they decided like, we're not making games anymore, we're really going to go to people who make games to get them to do the games that we feel like, should be done. They signed what I personally feel like is a bogus deal with EA to have a 10-year deal for Star Wars. That doesn't appear to be a thing that they will ever do again. We're going to get into that a little bit. So a couple of things came right after the announcement of the Lucasfilm Games banner, which was the announcement that Ubisoft is working on an open world Star Wars game with massive entertainment. Now, what does that mean to y'all?
Very intrigued. It can be a little scary initially. Like I enjoy The Division, and I know there's been some glitches and stuff in The Division when it first came out. So that's kind of the thing. Same thing with like Watch Dogs. I love the concept of it. I just need to see how this execution is going to be for it. I think that obviously is going to be the key to it, but I'm intrigued by it.
It's an Ubisoft game, so regardless, we know it's going to come out a little buggy off Jump Street. That's just, it is what it is. I'm used to it. But I'm excited. Ubisoft has a solid track record with open world games, so I'm looking forward to see what they do. I'm not expecting anything specific. I'm not looking for something specific. There's different timelines we could pull from. I'm good with it. I just sit back, relax, and let's see what direction y'all are taking this in. But I got faith in them. I do.
So in terms of that, in terms of the timeline, I'm gonna read a quote for you.
Okay.
Julian Garritti, who is going to be the creative director on this game, specifically said that they are recruiting now for the game, and he does not know what the team is working on. But if he had to guess, it would be based in the world of The Mandalorian, because it happens to be built using Unreal Engine, which is a video game engine, even though they'll be using the Snowdrop engine. So when you think about Massive as a game developer, Ubisoft as producing said game, as a publisher for said games, what we know Massive to have worked on for like the last 6 years is The Division. Doesn't mean it's massively multiplayer, but it could be.
Right.
But an open world Mandalorian based shooter could work.
It could.
I think. I'll keep it a buck. I'm not excited about this at all. Like, let me rephrase that. I'm mostly excited because it's not coming from EA. That's really the big thing. Like, I'm mostly excited because what it does mean, if nothing else, is that we will begin to see innovation in that space that we're not seeing because EA has had control over being able to make video games with the Star Wars license for the last 8 years. Since 2012 is when that deal got signed. And realistically, there was a lot of rhetoric online about the EA deal is over and blah, blah. Nah, it's not over. Like, these games have been announced, but they're just now recruiting. Like, we're not going to see these games for at least 2 years.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't mean we won't get some kind of reveal, but, you know, that'll be it. Ellis has Cyberpunk feels. It could be awesome, but it might look like Minecraft. Cyberpunk only looks like Minecraft on last-gen consoles.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, you got a PC or one of these new ones.
I mean, it's possible, though. I mean, look. Yeah, Massive and Ubisoft are just as guilty of selling us a dream with the first Division and what it looked like the first time we saw it revealed at E3 or whatever it was. And, like, the game itself didn't actually look like that. Like, they certainly were outside of the scope, but it didn't look bad. You know what I mean? But, again, I like the idea of being able to have somebody besides EA and some studio that EA controls working on stuff that's Star Wars. Like, we talked about this on Weekly, like, last week, I want to say, and the potential that Disney has and is really putting into Star Wars when they're saying, oh, here's these new eras. We're putting out these new books. This is stuff that takes place way before, you know what I mean, anything we've ever actually shown you on screen. And there's this potential to make Jedis cool again. You know what I mean? So I think that says something. On the heels of that, we got a teaser trailer for a new Indiana Jones game coming from Bethesda. Sin, where are we on this?
I don't care about it whatsoever.
All right, stop right there. Jokes?
I'm not a big Indiana Jones fan. I'm okay with it, but I'm not jumping for joy, but cool.
All right, so let's pause there for a minute. Let's talk a little bit about this.
Okay.
Bethesda is publishing this game. Okay. The game itself is being developed by Machine Games. So the developers that did the Wolfenstein games.
Okay.
Not a bad choice.
Okay.
Now, when I think Machine Games, I'm definitely thinking first-person shooter, Wolfenstein, Doom type action. That's what I'm thinking. Because that's what I know them for, realistically. We also know that Todd Howard is personally overseeing this project for Bethesda. Why are there custom Twitter emojis for the Indiana Jones? I mean, listen.
Hey,
I think he means the trash can ones that he put in there.
Yeah, Bethesda is cool. Can't win. I feel you. Pass on Indiana Jones. I feel the same way. However, I want to dig into this a little bit deeper. Bethesda is known for open world RPGs.
Yes.
Great storytelling.
Yes.
Usually create your own character, but again, Machine Games known for like shooters that have RPG elements. What would you do with the Indiana Jones? Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, like, the last Indiana Jones game that came out was probably based in, like, the fourth movie or something like that. Like,
it's been a while.
Crystal Skull. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. And listen, I'm of the mind that Uncharted and Tomb Raider both stole their mojo from Indiana Jones. Period.
Fair enough.
Is there potential for Indiana Jones to be cool? Yes. but I don't think you can even touch any of the stories that have already been told.
Right.
You can't do one of the old movies.
No. It's gotta be original.
Yeah, they did say that. They did say
now
it
they
is
are
original.
filming a new Indiana Jones movie right now.
No, we're not tying it to that.
With Harrison Ford. There are rumors that Chris Pratt is poised to take up the mantle as a new Indiana Jones, which makes me wonder whether or not they're going back and visiting untold stories of Indiana Jones,
Okay.
which I think has a lot of potential. Because right now, the only thing I can really do to tie Machine Games and Wolfenstein to Indiana Jones is that in Wolfenstein, you shoot a lot of Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
That's kind of what Indiana Jones does.
He kind of does that too.
Kind of like bangs with Nazis. You know what I mean? Like he, you know what I mean?
So
like that's it.
House.
But I would say that there's a potential there. I think that there are multiple generations of people who know nothing about Indiana Jones.
That's facts.
Nothing. Meaning that there is a potential to introduce Indiana Jones in a newer, cooler way that could even be based in current times in some manner.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to see what they do with it. Yeah. From the teaser trailer, it all looked like old stuff to me.
Right, nothing.
Look like old books and look like old stuff to me.
And I think they gotta be careful if they do decide to go the third person route to try not to. Don't come out and be like Tomb Raider and Uncharted, because like you said,
Correct.
people don't a lot of people don't know about Indiana Jones, so all they're gonna see is this and say, "Oh, this is a fake Tomb Raider, this is a fake Uncharted," not knowing that's kind of like where they got their swag from. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's a tough place to be in.
Right, because the generations that you will be introducing Indiana Jones to will just be like, "Oh, they stole this from Uncharted."
Right. Yeah.
Oh, they stole this. You know what I mean? You know, the Young Indiana Jones TV series, I'm pretty sure was longer than 15 years ago, Cuddy. I'm pretty sure it was longer than 15 years ago. That joint is.
I ain't going to look.
Dare I say Young Indiana? I mean, maybe there was another one, but there definitely was like a Young Indiana Jones. Say, I want to in like the early, like mid 90s.
Chronicles.
Yeah, that was like in the 90s.
March 4th, 92.
Yeah.
Oh God! Good God!
You a little off there, cut.
Jeez,
it's cool. Listen, hey, listen, look, 2020 messed time up for a lot of people, man. So just let Cuddy have that one. Hey, listen, I was saying the same thing. Joke says he can hear sin just fine. I think he's a little low, but thank you for saying so in the comments. If there's anything you can do to adjust it,
get a new mic tomorrow, so this should fix it, hopefully.
Or probably at least come a little bit closer towards the mic.
No, maybe. I got this thing in my mouth, damn near.
Now you're gonna touch that. So
good job. Don't do that.
Let's just leave it alone. Here's what I'm gonna say. I think that there is potential for this game. My initial thought was Bethesda, Xbox exclusive. That was my initial thought. Which, again, the purchase for Bethesda and those studios has not gone through yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's super likely to go through. Like, everybody's agreed to it. So if nothing else, it'll probably be on Game Pass. And we won't have to worry about whether or not we paid for it and it's terrible.
Right.
But it also means that a couple other things. This deal was probably already in the works before the acquisition, which means that it's probably not going to be exclusive. It's probably going to be multi-platform. The other thing that I think is highly likely is that this is going to be a VR game. And so it takes away a lot of that. You have to appeal to the largest masses of groups, because we know that Bethesda has done VR games. They have done Wolfenstein in VR. They have taken Skyrim and put it in VR. We know they do that. We know that in the past, Todd Howard was on the Xbox stage at E3 before the reveal of the One X, talking about the potential of that system to be able to do VR and the stuff that they were working on, like Wolfenstein, in VR then.
No, I did not order it from Wish. It has been delivered. I just got to go pick it up.
Yeah, I don't listen. I think open world looting landmarks with the whip sounds fluke.
But you know what? That whip in VR sounds kind of fun.
But in VR,
that sounds kind of fun.
That joint could be a whole different ball game, and it might be a shorter experience. Might not be a full. So, like, making that announcement,
Could be
because
episodic.
the other thing that they did do was they came out and specifically said that them working on this Indiana Jones game is not interrupting the development of the new not Elder Scrolls game at all.
Okay.
So that to me says they're probably developing it for something else.
And it'd be dope if they made it, if it was VR, if they did it episodic too.
Right, like the Vader joint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, we're talking about Disney and their ownership of property and the success that they saw with Immortal Vader, releasing it episodically. You know what? Let's take Indy. Let's put a whip in your hands.
Boom.
See what happens. You know what I'm saying? So there are some things that could be happening with it that might be completely outside of what you're thinking. The other thing about it is, please keep in mind that Bethesda, they do mobile games.
True.
This joint could just be like, I didn't see anything that said what platforms it was coming to.
Temple Run, Indiana Jones.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Indiana Jones Crash Bandicoot.
Right.
Running from boulders. Hey, Slim, but if you had to run from a boulder in VR,
I don't even want to think about it right now.
See? That's what I'm saying.
That could be tough. That could be real tough.
Yeah, I'm just saying that there's a potential, I think, that we're not necessarily thinking, because for us, most of the time, we think in terms of controller in your hand, looking at your screen or projector or something like that. But it could be something totally left field that would probably disappoint most people who right now are excited about it when they find out what it is. That's what I'm thinking. Straight up, bro. Having the best time ever, dog. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Somebody needs your old mic. Then I'm hit you up.
Oh, this joint? Oh, all right.
Straight up.
I ain't going to use this no more when I get that new joint.
Nah. For what?
Not at all. Yeah, not at all.
I just want you to keep in mind before he gives you that mic that he almost had his mouth around that joint.
Almost.
That's what he just said.
Yeah.
I don't want you to know. That's what he just said.
So just know.
All right, so look. They also said that as far as Lucasfilm Games is concerned, and these two announcements, this is just the beginning. They have a full slate of stuff that they plan on announcing throughout 2021. So we just had to see what else they're talking about. You know what I mean? What other platforms they're talking about? Who's developing something for the Switch? Like, who? You know what I mean? Like, there's still more to come, and we might not hear a single word until like E3.
True.
Yep.
Get the tease out though.
Right now, there's so much stuff getting pushed back.
You ain't lying. Everything's getting pushed back right now.
Like we didn't at this point. Like we didn't see it coming. It was just a matter of 2021. Who's going to be first? Like at this point now, like game pushed back now. Just
it's like everybody's scared after Cyberpunk. Like, you know what? Hold up. Let us take this back and just.
But you know what?
Before we.
I'm not mad. I am not mad.
Me neither.
If you are taking the extra time to do the polishing and doing what you need to do, so when we get it in our hands, you know what? I get a glitch here and there, but for the most part, it's gonna work. Like Harry Potter getting pushed back. Like when they first announced Harry Potter, I was pretty amped and psyched for the game. I thought it was about to be a PS5 only game. They was about to push me to get a PS5 just for that, and then we found out it was for all the consoles. But don't get me wrong. Like I want these games. Take the time. Like don't put dates. Just say, hey, you know what? We think it's going to be a 2021 title. But then when you start noticing them issues are coming up, you could just say, you already said 2021, so you got a little bit extra time, and then if you need to push it back. So,
I mean, here's the thing. All right, let's address this. Yes, Ellis, they could introduce him with a full slate planned out in phases, just like the MCU. They absolutely could do that. Across Star Wars and across Indiana Jones, assuming that the first thing they do with it, I don't think that this is going to be I don't think that this Indiana Jones game is intended to be the property that is going to introduce Indiana Jones to a whole new slew of people.
Mm-hmm.
They will do something else with that property first. It'll be a Disney Plus thing. It'll be something else that does it first. This will ride on the coattails of that, because this is not the kind of thing that's news to people outside of gamers right now. So it doesn't really matter. So yes, they absolutely could do that. 2, have you had a mic near your mouth after Sin had it almost in his, though? That's the problem.
That's bad.
We have to consider. Now, as far as games getting pushed back, there was already a, hey, 2020 was 2020. So if you need to push a joint back, push it back. We'll understand. Then you had Cyberpunk happen on top of that. But it had already been pushed back multiple times.
Right.
But we getting ready to really dig into this because Sin Mouth was so close to it. That's why we talking about it, Ellis. So the lead, one of the co-founders for, I'm not even gonna try to say his name.
The guy.
One of the co-founders of CD Projekt Red released a video yesterday. I mean, I guess, yes, there was an apology in there / an explanation for what happened with this game. And so for anybody who's not caught up, Cyberpunk 2077 was announced like 7 years ago. It was supposed to have come out it was supposed to have come out in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
It was pushed from the end of 2019 into like February of 2020, and then into April of 2020, and then to like August of 2020, and then to December of 2020.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's just like, COVID, bro. Do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Once the game dropped, just before the game dropped, they released codes for reviewers so that they could get the word out about the game and how good the game is and all that jazz, like a week before the release of the game. However, they only gave out codes for PC. And they would only allow anybody who was doing like a video review or anything like that to use their own assets. You could not screen capture or record your own footage. You had to use CD Projekt Red's footage in your video previews or your reviews and so forth, which is a little strange. Okay. So I'm just going to jump out on a limb and say that there was some speculation that some things might be awry when this happened. Game drops, and the day the game drops is when they sent out codes for consoles. Date the game drop. Maybe like 2 days before, something like that. So the game hits. Once the game hits, for the most part, it's running beautiful. It's buggy, but it looks beautiful on PC. And it's running pretty solidly on new, now current gen consoles. So Xbox Series S, Series X, and PlayStation 5.
Right.
However, the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, and Xbox One family, the joint is running like potatoes.
Pretty much.
Like, it looks terrible. Like, whole world's not loading in. When you try to, walk around, get in a car, do anything you just need to do to do
to
base
get from
function.
A to B, yeah, it's just bad. It's just broken.
It ain't happening.
Yeah.
Okay. So that becomes this whole thing, and eventually Cyberpunk comes out. And we've talked about it on this show and says, we sorry. You can get a refund though.
We sorry.
You want a refund? Holla at Xbox. Holla at Sony. Tell them we said you can have a refund.
Tell them we sent you.
And if you have trouble getting a refund, email us at this address, and you only have until next week to do your refund. Mind you, they had done like $10 million in pre-orders and pre-sale
easily
already. So they eventually Sony takes it off of the store. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna give refunds, and they pull the game from the store. You can't buy the game on PlayStation at all, unless you find it on a disc somewhere. Most retailers have pulled it off shelves, and it's still available in the Microsoft store, but they did offer full refunds, which is, for all intents and purposes, unprecedented.
Right.
It's not a thing that has ever really happened, especially with digital purchases. Now, when it comes to entertainment media, even in physical form, we've known for a long time that once you buy it and open it, that joint's yours, dog.
It's a wrap.
You can trade it in, and yes, GameStop will give you 50 cents for your new game.
Yep.
And sell it for $55.
Yep.
But you ain't getting no refund.
Nope.
They might exchange it, like if it's damaged or something like that. Like, they'll exchange it for another one. But the smart ones, they open it before they hand it to you. So you can't turn around and try to
do that again.
Nope. Like, that's been a thing for 2 decades now, as far as that media is concerned. But digital media has been different. And only recently, like Steam, if you buy games on PC, Steam's had a pretty decent return policy where if it's been under 2 weeks and you haven't played the game, they'll give you a full refund. If it's under 2 weeks and you've only played like 2 hours of it, they'll give you a full refund. Okay. Microsoft implemented that same policy like a year ago, which makes sense because they then also decided to introduce a console that had no disc drive.
Right.
So you have to start putting some things in place for people to be able to refund things when things go wrong. Yes, Ellis, they cut off CD Projekt Red like a U.S. president. Twice on 2 generations of consoles. Gameplay has fallen off. So there's been like a 72% drop off in players for Cyberpunk across Steam, as of like last week or the week before. Let me see. Ty says it pisses you off because the game has so much potential. I hate that it turned out that way. You know what? I feel the same way. Here's the problem, because we haven't even gotten to what this explanation / apology is. Here's the thing. The big issue that most people have with this game turning out this way is that the game was supposed to release like a year prior to the new consoles even being out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in this explanation / apology, they're like, their testing didn't show that these kind of issues existed on what is now last gen consoles. So PS4, Xbox One. I don't see how that's possible.
I don't either.
I know that CD Projekt Red is a company that has made PC games first and foremost for a long time. But they found their bread and butter in console games with Witcher 2 and 3. Period. There's no 2 ways about it. And I can certainly understand if you are designing for PC first and then planning to downscale for those systems. But if the game had already been in development for like 5 years before it was supposed to come out over a year ago,
you were working on those consoles.
Who's your software engineer? Who's doing your testing? Yeah. You had to know. I don't believe it. Not even a smidge, bro. Somebody at the lower level told somebody at the upper level, "Hey, dog, this joint ain't ready. It's not working.
Yeah.
Let's push it back. All right, let's push it back again. All right, let's push it back again." Right? And he does say in the explanation / apology that we thought the day one patch that we put together would have solved the majority of those issues. We thought it was going to take care of it.
Negative.
Which is possible. That's possible. It does mean, in fact, though, that they knew the issues existed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when, I don't know, like, wouldn't you run those patches on your consoles in the building and see if it fixes it?
But remember, they said they didn't see any of that in their testing, which is, to me, next level crazy. Because, I mean, you clearly, Series X, PlayStation 5 wasn't even a thought 5 years ago, like, say, on the developer. They had it, but you knew at that point you were working on current gen consoles. Right. So
let's do this. Let's do this. Let's even take what you're talking about right now, Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
CD Projekt Red has a deal specifically with Microsoft and Xbox. They put out a CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox. You gotta know that joint don't work.
Right.
You put out a console that looks like your game.
And it can't
that
play
comes
the game.
with the game. What are you talking about, bruh? It's not even possible. What's up, Kay? Yes, you late, but it's never too late to join.
You can catch up.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Even if I was to go out on them and be like, maybe they didn't know on PlayStation because they did a deal with Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe, right? You got an entire marketing deal. But even that would be dumb. And I'm going to tell you why. PlayStation 4, across the 4, the Slim, and the Pro, have over 100 million consoles in the wild. Your expectations, regardless of what deal you did with Microsoft, is that you are going to sell more copies of your game on PlayStation 4 than anywhere else, including PC probably.
Mm-hmm.
How can you not know?
Something's wrong in Denmark.
I'm having...
There's no way.
Yeah.
The most issues right now with... We didn't see that in our testing.
It can't be. Like,
send it to me, dog. I'll test that joint.
Easy.
I will say, I'm sorry. At some point, they had what they wanted to call their finished version of that game on, at the time, the current gen, 1X.
When the joint went gold.
You had to have a completed version that you played. If you didn't send it out to anybody, you guys put these in your own consoles at home and you played these. And there's not a way, unless, I don't know, you guys made a toned down ass version of this. Like, there's no way around it at all.
And you know
you
what?
Played it.
What makes it sketchy with what both of y'all are saying, the fact that what we said earlier, they sent out PC copies.
You knew what you was doing when you sent out PC only review copies of it,
right?
And you sent out that. Oh no, don't use your footage.
Right. It's just when you start putting it all together, it's like something is not right over there. This is not making any sense whatsoever.
I mean, listen, Ty, you partially right, but here's the other thing. Here's the other thing I'm going to say. The reality of it is, CD Projekt Red isn't really at fault here. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you exactly why. Y'all ready for this?
My man's feet about to cut out. My man's feet about to cut out. He about to spill the tea. His feet about to cut out.
Red for this. No, it's no.
I'm going to tell you who fault it is. It's Microsoft's fault. And it's Sony's fault. Period. Every game that gets released to their store, digital or otherwise, any game that gets certified gold is supposed to go through a process where they test it and make sure that it is up to the quality standards that it is supposed to be before it ever reaches a consumer's hand on their platform.
They didn't want to miss out on that holiday money.
What this did was it absolutely exposed. And listen, I saw it. It was all over Twitter. It was like you could look on the internet. You could find that there were people who were like, yeah, there's been rumors for years that like certain publishers have an amount of cachet with, you know, Microsoft and Xbox and Nintendo, where they don't actually go through the vetting process that they're supposed to go through before they release a game. And this absolutely exposed them. Absolutely exposed them. And the reality of it is that exposure that's the reason why Sony was like, hey, we're going to go ahead and get these refunds. Because the fact of the matter was, it was only going to be a matter of time before somebody said, you certified this game?
Yep.
You telling me I can't have a refund and put this joint in your store, and you certified this joint?
Yep.
You said this joint was done and was 100% ready to be on my console. You certified this joint? And they became a part of the same class action lawsuit that CD Projekt Red is involved in. And I'm going to tell you that the only reason why Microsoft hasn't pulled it from their stores because they did the marketing deal. That's it. Because if the marketing deal had been done,
yeah.
If it wasn't for that deal, they'd have been like, yeah, that joint gone.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
So
we'll give you a refund if you want it. And the one up that they get is, well, if you want to buy it and you want to buy it on console, you have to buy it on Xbox.
All you had to do, if you need
how do you look
review
pulling a game from your store when you sold consoles specifically for that game?
Ain't no bueno.
You're right, Ellis.
Hey.
Fact. Ellis. You ain't seen that war.
That joint is strong.
All they had to do was just send a copy of that.
Shut up, Jimmy, and get out of the comments.
Like all they had to do, if they wanted to skip the whole review process, all they had to do was send us a copy, like, and we would have gladly told you that what in the is going on.
You know what would have happened? They'd have been like, "You black, you don't know what you're talking about."
Bruh, your character's on the screen. The whole map is gone. I got a problem here. I can't do nothing.
Negro vision. It's not true. We see it just fine. It's working fine over here in Denmark. I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
We don't Negro vision.
Your Negro vision ain't working.
I mean,
right,
look, if Batman can have fake powers and so can jokes. Appreciate you, Jimmy. Hey, listen. Realistically, this is not just CD Projekt Red. It is a video game industry-wide issue.
Yeah.
It really is. And this game just happens to be so high profile, right? That it matters outside of the more niche circles. Because of what the potential for was.
I have with this that I think is another reason why it's so big, because of how long we known this game was coming.
LaForge.
Like announcing. I hope people take a look at thinking about when they announce games too early, and then you build up all that hype over years and years and years, and you finally come out, and then you have this happen. I hope they think more, heavily about.
Hey, but you know what? Even announcing the game super early, I don't think there's an issue with teasing something and putting it out there. Like I think there's no issue with that. But
I do. You ain't gonna give it up. Don't tease with it.
Thank you, sir.
Because of that example.
Thank you, sir.
Because of that example, I will.
I ain't gotta say it. He got it.
You want to renege that joint? You gonna take it back?
I'm gonna renege. I'm gonna take that one back with that one.
Take it back, bro. Listen, realistically, young, I'm one of those people who I've always had issues with developers teasing things way too early, showing you content for product that is in development. But like when you watch stuff at E3, man, like generally you're getting a vertical slice. It's not a realistic view of what you're actually getting when the game actually comes out. And I've said this about Sony for years because how long we wait for Final Fantasy?
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
Even if it turned out to be some trash, The Last Guardian. How long do we wait for that?
Last Guardian.
Yep.
At least 3.
How long do we wait for Last Guardian?
Forever.
Like that joint is just now running well on PS5, bro. That game, we waited 10 years for that joint.
Yes.
For it to drop. It dropped 2 years ago. Took 12 years for that joint to run right. Digital Foundry did a video on that joint like 2 days ago. It's just now running right.
That's terrible.
Here's the thing about it. Oh man, y'all getting ready to get me. Oh boy, I'm on
No, he turned. He kind of turned.
It really killed me about it. Check this out. For that game to run the way it's supposed to at 60 frames a second on a PlayStation 5, you have to play it off the disc and you can't update it. The updates for the joint break the game. It will run at 30 frames a second if you do the
Ain't that
update.
supposed to work the other way around?
Oh, listen, you absolutely have to run the joint in the 1.0 version off of the disc. You literally have to put it in your PS5 and either turn off your internet.
I was about to say.
Because you know it's going to automatically try to update. Every time you put the joint in, you got to say, nah, I don't want to update. Tell it you want to play offline and then play the joint.
Yeah, he punching the other hand now.
Wow. Yeah. That is terrible.
Welcome to 2021, y'all. 2021, man. 10 years to get the game out, 12 years to get it to run right, and then it don't run right with the updates.
It's so crazy.
You know what I'm saying? There are things that just, look, man. So CD Projekt Red gave us a roadmap.
That roadmap was very.
Hey, can you put that roadmap up, dog? So they gave us a roadmap for when they expect. It is trash, Lightning. When they expect for the updates to hit, they've had to push back. They're still planning all this free DLC, which is cool. Here's the other thing. Let me run this down. This version of the game that has been released to console is only the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version of the game. The PS5 and Xbox Series versions of the games don't exist. Them joints don't come out to the end of this year. What you're playing when you play that joint on PS5 and on Xbox Series is you're playing the upgraded version on the more powerful console using backwards compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that these games were specifically developed for last gen.
Yeah.
What do you mean you ain't see these issues?
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's
It
no
ain't
way.
like it's a separate version of the game. It's not. This is that version of the game.
If those issues were not seen, I believe you need to get rid of the whole staff or whoever specifically does that. You could hire the three of us.
Oh, there's a lot of people that thing went through in that building. I'm sorry.
Bruh, not
There's
just
a
in
lot
the
of people that went
I
through
guarantee there's people outside of that building that did that. Right. There is no next gen version yet. That's crazy. It's crazy that version doesn't trip because the next gen version is on the timeline that they gave us. Bruh.
Sorry,
It's on the timeline. The joint don't exist.
I'm not controlling
I
it
think
today,
he said
Alex.
second half of the year is when we should be expecting that.
Remember me saying a couple weeks ago that right now, technically the best version of the game that isn't on PC is on Stadia?
Stadia.
And that's because the Stadia version is actually a different version of the game. It's not the console version. It's essentially a new version of the PC version that's made specifically for Stadia. That was done by a different company. It wasn't even done by CD Projekt Red. It was actually done by the team that ported The Witcher to the Switch.
Smart choice, but it's sad.
I bet they seen something. I was like, "Hey, dog, y'all know that?
You know this
This is different.
This joint ain't."
Hey, I thought we asked for the completed version. This joint ain't. This ain't the completed version of it.
Right. Yo, is this like your
I think
0.5
you gave us the
version?
potato joint. We got the wrong joint.
This your 0.5 version? No, that's the 1.0 version.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. So look, the roadmap, dog. So they gave us a roadmap. I don't even like. Let me look at this joint. All right, so they've already released these patch notes.
Fixes.
My daughter is texting me to ask me, can she stay up to take place in this Fortnite event?
Uh-oh.
What do y'all say? Should I say yes?
What time the event start?
I guess it's starting now, dog. I didn't even know there was a Fortnite event.
I didn't know it was either.
I gotta look at the news to find out what's going on. I know that. Listen, well, I do know this. I know they added Predator to the game, or he's a boss in the game now. And I think my guess is that they're getting ready to add the Terminator. Yeah, it's a school night. I'm gonna let her. We've been through some things the last couple of days. I'm gonna let her stay up.
Yeah.
So, Chris said he put 200. Yeah, but you put 200 hours on PC, right? Lightning.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah, I think they're getting ready to actually add the Terminator to the game because they took all the pump shotguns out. And now they only got shotguns, and when you fire them, you got to flip the
okay.
He was showing me earlier, and I was like, that seemed like some Terminator. And because they're doing all the greatest hunters, and they just added Predator.
That's a good hunter edition right there.
Terminator coming. That's on my thing. Yeah. See, PC is cool. Lightning, that's different. Because that's the one they made it for. Like, that's what they were working on. You know what I'm saying? So they did hot fixes 1.04, 05, and 06.
Hey, Alex ain't gonna give up.
And as I already told you, just bring the drink when you come to the coast. And I'll meet you in Philly. That ain't no thing.
You know, you drive.
That ain't no thing for me to meet you in Philly.
He'll drive in Philly, no problem. That's Ishka.
I'll be right there, dog.
Right there.
Matter of fact, I'll show up with the cheesesteaks in hand. I pick them joints up on the way, bring them to you. So there's 2 more patches coming, patch 1.1 and 1.2. And then you just have multiple updates and improvements. Just
big old bar. Like no dates, no nothing. Like you're gonna get it sometime this year. Don't worry, it's coming sometime this year.
And them joints run past the console next gen update. They even running past that. Like we're just gonna be constantly updating and working on this thing.
Nope. Because when that next gen update come out, I wonder if that's gonna end up breaking something.
So here's the thing: is when do you think the multiplayer drops?
Dog, at this point, push the multiplayer back.
If it does still drop, it'll be next year. Spend the year fixing this game.
Here's the thing that I feel like. Here's the thing I like the most about this apology or whatever. As the co-founder of the company, my man came out and was like, "This is me taking it on the shoulders. It's my fault. It's our fault in upper management. Please don't take it out on our developers. Our developers work really hard. They're really good at what they do. We made the call," which I think is important because every time something like this happens, and it definitely happened with Cyberpunk, people just decide to jump on their high horses and start shooting death threats to like
trifling.
The lady who was in charge of the typeface
or something.
Why
did I do? I just picked the letters.
The lady who's in charge of the typeface. You know what I mean? Because your game don't work right or whatever. Like, it's stupid. Come on, man. It's only me and one other person. If that one other person is Chris Lightning, it might be too deep. It is definitely more than you bargained for, Ellis. So, but again, if we show up with cheesesteaks, to me, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. So yeah, I'm not like. Here's the thing. I can certainly appreciate that they're trying to step up. Like to actually come out and say, listen, we built years and years and years of trust with our fan base, with our customers by doing the right thing over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And we messed that up. We broke that, but don't take it out on them. It's totally on me. It's totally on us at the upper level. We did it. I do think that that's important. I think it's important to do. I think it's important to say. I think that it is honestly a bigger step in the right direction than what you generally get, if for no other reason than most of the times when something like this happens, it is absolutely somebody at the top who's not working on the game who says, no, put it out. Shareholders want to see it, so do it anyway.
But it's broke. Right?
We can't push it back. And then the developers deal with the brunt of what it is.
Right.
I have every part of me wants to believe that the developers at BioWare were telling EA, hey, dog, we can't put Anthem out yet. This joint not ready yet.
Right.
Every part of me. Because as an artist, as a creator, when you're creating something, you always want the best version of it to go out, which a lot of times can be detrimental because you just feel like you never really finished working on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know when it's not ready. You know you have testers that are in place, and there are things that you definitely see, especially when you take a game like Anthem and you put it out for people to try first. And people are like, I mean, it's cool, but like, this is going to be it. It's going to get boring real quick. You know what I mean? I'm going to run out of things to do. So, chill out, Ellis. So, I mean, I do think it's definitely a very important thing for them to do and to be front-facing about it. I think it's way too late.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a statement you should have made 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think that there's definitely a reason why you waited until after Christmas and after people got the game, bought the game, and got it home, and then found out the joint was garbage and then had to go through trying to return it or whatever. I definitely believe in my whole heart that that was a business move, that you waited to make that statement on purpose. However, owning it and turning the ire directly at you instead of it being directed at people who really didn't have the say so in it, I think it's definitely a big step and a step in the right direction. I could play Cyberpunk. The joint will work.
Mm-hmm.
We're fortunate enough to have some Series X's, so works for me.
But I'm all right now.
Same
You
here.
know what I mean? I'll get to it at some point.
After the one glitch, when they talked about possibly losing your saves, I was like, you know what? I just want to let it sit there. Cinna's been through that, and it's like with other games, and like if my game save gets deleted, I ain't going back to it. Like
Facts.
I'm not going back to it.
Facts.
You ain't lying.
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't
That's
gonna
why
happen.
I stopped playing. What's the name for right now? Watch Dogs. Got my save deleted off of it. I said, well, until they put out that update, I'm just gonna leave it sitting here.
I think that update is out. Ty said he can't stop. He hooked. I can make you stop, Ty. We about to go get this money.
Hey.
About to jump back on this heist, bro.
Hey Ty, you see what's on that podium?
And that right there, Ellis, is a real thing because this Hitman 3 about to be a problem. That joint is about to be a problem. Yeah, I'm all over that joint. Yeah, Kay said his crash is too much. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had like a lot of crashes, but realistically, I just stopped. I didn't really keep putting time into it. I picked up Valhalla. I started playing that a little bit. Even that's not really holding me.
Same here.
I've been playing little indie games, man. So
yeah, the biggest problem I've run into with it is my objectives don't pop up on my screen. I'll be in the middle of a mission and it won't tell me where I have to go. And I'm thinking I'm going crazy. But then I reset the game and then I boot it back up and
starts working.
Yeah, it starts working again. I've had that happen a few times.
To go this is again, yeah. I mean, the joint still definitely has bugs. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So, y'all know, man. Yeah, that Hitman, that joint's about to be a.
Y'all can have that.
I know we can. We gonna take it too. That thing about to be smoking. Listen. I take Hitman over Yakuza any day.
And I'm doing the complete opposite.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I feel you. I mean, I could bang with Yakuza, but Hitman, man, that joint. Whoo boy. All right, so listen. I want to end the show. However, I told Jokes he could have a little bit of time to talk about Pokemon. So, while I look deeply at the back of my brain.
Because we don't care.
It's all, look, I'm not going to be long-winded. I will just make it plain as easy. Pokemon celebrating the 25th anniversary. I mean,
yeah, Ellis, we did. We said no, but
he's gonna give it to me either way. But it doesn't matter. 25 years for I don't care what it is. If you've been able to build a brand and keep it going for 25 years strong, it deserves some pomp and circumstance behind it. And Pokemon has hit that milestone. They're going to be doing a couple things to kind of bring in the OG set somehow, even though they've already done this technically once already. They're going to release a special set of the cards that are the original set with the 25th anniversary logo that's on there for it. I'm all for trying to.
I'm gonna stop you right there, target audience. How much money did you set aside to get all them joints?
Oh, I haven't said.
They just announced it like yesterday, but that don't mean nothing to me.
I'm gonna try, because the only reason why I didn't do it the first time around, because apparently it was a little iffy when they said they were going to release it. They didn't say that like the whole 151 set was going to be there. It seemed like they were going to try to do it in pieces, kind of like how it originally came out. And I was kind of like, there's no point in doing it that way now. It's like, if you're going to do it, just do it. So I think that's where the 25th anniversary, this version of it, is just going to factor in all of those for it. So I'm cool to give it a shot. The one I haven't quite figured out yet, they're teaming up with Katy Perry.
For a year, dog.
So I'm guessing.
Why are they doing a year's worth of music with Katy Perry for Pokemon's 25th anniversary?
I'm guessing maybe she's gonna do like a new theme for the show or something like that. That's the only thing I could think of. The show will last for about a year if it's a new season, but I'm not 100%. I'm waiting to kind of get the info from that and see where that goes.
Interesting.
Of course, this year we're also getting Pokemon Snap 2. So Snap, of course, if you guys aren't familiar, came back out on the Nintendo 64 and was
1999.
Yes. So finally getting the second edition of that on the Nintendo Switch, I think is an awesome way to kind of trickle into the 25th anniversary as well too.
Now, you know what? I bet you Katy Perry does know us for Pokemon because she probably played a lot of. I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, she's in that generation of Poke people. She in that generation.
But that, and then a whole bunch of new merch is coming out. So as of right now, that's pretty much the foresight.
It doesn't matter if you have Squirtle or Bulbasaur. Both them Jones flew.
Charmander is the winner. Hey, Charmander.
Who?
No, it sounded like he said Carmander.
My man said he did say Charmander. That's why I made him say it again. My man Chris Lightning said grass type for life. What kind of grass though?
That's fine.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I know what they really want to do with that Pokemon. I know what kind of grass types. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different thing, bro. Hey, listen, bro. If you so Pokemon Snap, you pre-order your joint? $60 for that joint.
Cool with it.
That's a super expensive joint for the Switch. At $60. Did you pre-order it?
No, I haven't pre-ordered yet.
You gonna?
I'm waiting to see if they're gonna do a special edition or something. You already know me.
My man want to drop that stimulus check on that thing, bro. We already getting ready to buy a new Switch so we can get the red joint.
You damn right.
That's your burning a hole in his pocket.
Did you buy the new Xbox controller yet?
No, see.
K had that joint. I seen K had that joint.
Oh, it's the white on there kills me because I know that white probably gonna get dirty.
It looks like a Pokeball.
It does. I'm just waiting. Hey, look. At this point, I got an Elite 2 controller. I'm good on controllers.
Rock type. Hey, Heather, get at him.
Oh my god.
Are there rock type Pokemon? Is that a thing?
Yeah, there's rock type Pokemon.
I mean, how would I know, dog? I don't know. Don't they got what is it? They got let's do this. Grass type, water type, fire type, rock type, ghost type,
psychic.
I know they got ghosts.
No, you're right. Ghost type is one.
A ghost type is a thing?
That is a thing.
What else? What am I missing?
Electric one?
Electric?
Yeah, you gotta have electric.
Yeah.
You pretty much have the basic. Like that was like the original set, and then it started spinning out of control. Fairy type, steel type, poison type was a basic one. Then there, of course, your legendaries. They're just legendaries. They don't necessarily have.
Lightning says dark fighting.
Dark is one.
Dragon.
Fighting is a type.
Fighting is a type.
Dragon is a type.
Dragon is a type.
Fairy is a type.
Fairy is a type. Yep.
We might have got through.
What type is the mine? A ghost joint?
Bug.
Mr. Mime. Nah, he's psychic.
Ground.
Mr. Mime is psychic.
Oh, psychic type.
Psychic type.
Yeah. Bug type. Hey, this joint out of control. Two things. One, Chris Lightning, you're overdoing it. You shouldn't know this.
Normal
Chris Lightning.
I remember you being cool. Two.
Hey, I got wrestling belts.
My
too,
man Ellis, listen.
I don't have shield yet though.
But listen, how long is it going to be before? Who's going to be the first one? Who I know somebody has already come down to the ring in some sort of Pokemon way. Did the New Day do something like that?
New Day hasn't. I'm trying to think.
It's gonna happen, dog.
Oh.
It's gonna happen. I bet you something. This 25th anniversary thing is going to cause an issue.
Somebody need to throw a Pokeball at a wrestler.
And it's gonna happen. I saw that because I know AEW has a gaming a ref in the first place. I know they had the Gears of War outfits. That's cool though. That's cool. But fairy type, steel type, fire type, they probably got fire type and flame type. Like I don't.
It's just fire.
It's
just
too
fire.
much. It's too much. Bug type, huh? Okay, so 25th anniversary of Pokemon. I dig it, bro. Like I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like that is it is. It really is. It's a big deal. It's a major feat in gaming. It's a major feat for somebody who's not Nintendo to maintain something like that for Nintendo for that long. It's kind of a big thing. I'm gonna say it's the most successful video game to television adaptation ever. Period. Video game to anime or TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, what up, Perk? You know what, Lightning?
Oh, you missed my element.
Oh yeah, I did. Oh no, I did see Slim throw the Pokeball. After he's won joints, I've also seen Slim.
Oh, there is a
do
yes.
jutsu before and after matches. Yeah.
I wonder if that was that may have been ACH, because ACH, when he comes out, he normally has the Jonin vest on when he comes down to the ring. Like that's just a part of his attire now.
Yeah, I don't like it. All right, so listen, we need to wrap this show up. Appreciate all y'all jumping in, being in the comments, hanging out with us for an hour or so while we talked about video games and things that happen in video games here on Cutscenes. We got a couple of things that are happening. In a couple of weeks, we are joining the folks over at Uncanny Nerd for a charity stream, 24 hours from 8 p.m. on the 29th to 8 p.m. on the 30th to raise money for the 3Bs Foundation, which is a local to the DMV area foundation that puts together care packages for women who have undergone mastectomy surgery for cancer. So it's really cool. You guys should jump in and join us from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on the 30th. We will be having a discussion to determine the top 10 DC animated films of all time.
Yep.
For life. So that will be a lot of fun. I definitely suggest taking a look at that. Look at Chris like, hold up. Try to be involved. So yeah, so we're doing that in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, man, y'all just keep your eyes on what we're doing. Sin, you got a job to do, if you would, please.
Yes, sir. So let's go ahead and shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dorsch, and Tyrone Carson. Thank you much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Factually. Jokes, you have a job to do, if you would, please.
Yes, sir.
So what Jokes is doing right now is dropping our link tree into the comments. Feel free to click on that. Listen, if you're following us or subscribe to us on one platform, please do the same on other platforms. That just helps us out. We are just trying to grow our presence as a whole. We are super close to hitting affiliate across Twitch. So we will be streaming tomorrow night. And I think we just decided.
Yep.
Oh, we have a unanimous
we'll be playing Scott Pilgrim.
Yes,
Yep.
We have a unanimous decision on that one.
Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock over on Twitch. We're like 3 followers away and like 0.1 minute away from affiliate status on Twitch. So
let's see if we can get that
it would, we would greatly appreciate it if y'all would jump in and help us out on that end. In the meantime, for those of you who are patrons, we should have a question going up to you soon for us to shoot our video that is Patreon exclusive. Correct, Sin?
Yes, correct.
So you guys keep your eyes open for that. And we are working on some new content. We've had many discussions over the last couple of weeks, putting some things together, coming up with some new ideas, and figure some things out. We have Virtuous Con, which we are participating in February. We have a Black History event that we are participating in February. We have a business event panel that we're doing in April. We are on the move. Things are happening, but we are definitely still planning to continue to put together content. We got snack bites. What did you just pick up, Sin?
Cheesecake M&Ms. I'm dropping them off to y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, that's disgusting. So, cheesecake, easily the mayo of cakes. Terrible.
I gotta think about that. I gotta think about that.
Well, what's the mayo of cakes if it's not cheesecake? It ain't pie. It could be pie.
Yeah.
Pie might be the mayo of cakes. But pie isn't called cake. Cheesecake has the word cake in it.
Cake in it.
It does.
Cheesecake is definitely the mayo of cake.
I can't put the mayo of cakes on the door. I can't do that. I can't put that stamp.
Listen. Chris Lightning.
Nani?
What's your favorite kind of cheesecake, Chris Lightning? If it's Oreo, it don't count. It gotta just be regular cheesecake.
I was gonna say, when in doubt, just throw Oreo in it. Like it makes.
Yeah, see, I mean that's like cheating. You know what I mean? That's like, nah, cheesecake's definitely the mayo of cakes.
No.
I take regular cake over cheesecake any day.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
Just that word together
Nah.
automatically sounds wrong. Like, would you put cheese on your cake?
What up with cheese?
I wouldn't put.
Right. The statement alone is an oxymoron. Hey, listen, somebody yesterday sent me a picture. Slim. Somebody sent me a picture yesterday of 2 Pop-Tarts, frosted Pop-Tarts, with melted cheese across the top of them joints.
That is disgusting.
Whoa.
That's cheesecake.
Whoa.
No, it's not.
Like mentally, that's cheesecake.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know that's not what cheesecake is, but like mentally,
Oh.
that's it. Just like Danish is the mayo of donuts. New York style cheesecake. Listen, you can make and sell cheesecakes. I'm not saying they don't have an audience. What I'm saying is that cake is better than cheesecake. Because cheesecake is mushy.
Yeah.
Sweet potato cheesecake is not sweet potato pie?
No, it's
sweet potato cheesecake over sweet potato pie?
I didn't say
What's in
that.
sweet potato cheesecake? What makes it different from the pie?
I don't know. Never heard of sweet potato cheesecake.
I know. I'm pretty sure.
Carrot cake is the
I know, but she just said like she makes and sells. What? Hey, you slipping lightning carrot cake, banana cake? Yeah. Again, they do sound like things you don't want to be together. Like carrots and cake don't sound right together. You know what I'm saying? Like Batman, I feel you. Like banana and cake, that don't sound right together. Cheese and cake definitely don't sound right together. Like if somebody offered you cake and they was like you can put cream cheese on a regular cake as the frosting, but you wouldn't put blue cheese on the joint.
Oh,
that's nasty.
Oh,
so cheese and
that's
cake,
the one.
That's just not a.
Fruit cake is the mayo.
Fruit cake can go in the trash.
That's what we can go with.
All
Fruit
day.
Cake is the mayo of cakes.
There you go. That's the one.
Nah, no, it's not. Because it's not mushy.
It has nothing to do with being mushy. It's just gross.
Yes, it does.
It's just gross.
Yes, it does. It gotta be. It's nasty and it's mushy.
Oh, this sounds
relatively
like
pointless.
That's gonna need to be done here.
Caramel apple cheesecake. Batman probably does eat cheesecake. The Slim is the mayo of superhero.
I had that cheesecake factory.
Slim probably got like joints in his little belt that make cheesecake taste like real cake. Oh, that's probably how that works. You know what I'm saying?
Terrible.
Hey, Marcus, are you saying fruitcake is lit? I need to know.
I need to clarify. I need some clarification on that one.
Cream cheese, not yellow cheese.
Oh,
okay. Fruitcake gets the circular file number 13.
Garbage.
I'm with it. Garbage. All net. All net.
Swish.
All net. Ice cream cake over cheesecake? Let me know.
No.
Nah.
No. No.
Yeah. Nah, it is still better than Wonder Woman though. Wonder Woman, ultimate trash. You know what I'm saying?
No, bread pudding. Nah, that's mayo right there. That's mayo.
Nah, like all pudding. Pudding is the mayo of ice cream. Yeah. Like that's right. Pudding is the mayo of ice cream. It's basically melted milkshake.
It's not even melted milk. It's just goop.
It's not, but I'm just saying. Like, here's the thing, man. Like, I personally don't like things with goop. So like, now pudding pops, crush, bruh. But pudding by itself, young, just nah. Not until I'm too old to eat anything else. That's it. Caribbean fruit cake? What's Caribbean fruit? We can do this all day. I just want to know.
Man.
Got some jerk seasoning in it.
Ty said fruit cake good.
Yeah, but he likes Superman, so his vote don't count.
He does like Superman. There's a lot of comments like Batman too. They joints don't count either. Bread pudding fire. I ain't mad at that. But you could just have cocoa bread. So
I'll take that cocoa bread.
And good. Cocoa bread is really all you need. Cocoa bread, whatever the hell that brown bread is at Outback, dog.
Outback, oh, fire.
Dog, I be in love.
Fire.
I be wanting to hug the bama that bring that joint to the table.
Don't even have to
And that
ask.
joint, listen, when that joint gone and they just
Somebody
show up
put
with a new
another
joint,
one.
they just put that joint down. Yeah. You my man. You my man, dog. Yeah. Yeah, that Outback, that brown Outback. Ooh. I gotta figure out where they get that from, man.
Oh, I don't
They just
know.
be making it.
Yeah.
Pumpernickel. Pumpernickel is, y'all, like, that's the joint. That pumpernickel bread, boy. That sounded illegal to say. Hey, listen, we can get up out of here.
had to hold my tongue on that one.
Yeah, that joint sounded illegal to say.
Yes. Yes. Feel like Superman might only eat a fruitcake. He probably bake a mean Joe with his trifling ass.
If he make you a cheesecake, will you start liking them?
Oh,
Slap him in
man.
the face with that cake so fast.
All right, y'all. We getting ready to get up out of here. It's been a really, really great time. We might be getting ready to do some shooting, man. Some shooting and looting, man. So you know how to get a hold of us. Ty, if you out there, Cuddy, if you out there, you know what it is, man. Let's. I'm down. Salted chocolate bread pudding.
No.
I mean, nah. Listen, we do snack bites. You hook us up and send it out, man. We put it out there. I'm down. I'm down. Say word. My man. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. We out. Toodles and loose. What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.